Elissa is a fashion leader in Philadelphia.
She has a passion for fashion and design and for what we're trying to accomplish at the incubator, which is to help people have a sustainable business model.
I think she has curated a group of designers that really stretch themselves, and she challenges them to stretch themselves.
She is an uplifter. She's a mentor. She looks for the qualities that someone has and immediately starts thinking of ways that she can uplift and help strengthen what that person has in their core and what they love.
She's a connector. If she doesn't know the person, she'll find that person and she'll want to make that happen for you. She's really amazing. She taught me a lot about the business.
A lot of people don't love what they do for a living, and it seems like Elissa really does. She's really amazing at it, and she does it with a smile every day.
I think what makes her special is her heart. You know, I mean, she will do anything for you.
If you can take care of somebody you love that is ill and sick, and especially something as serious as Alzheimer's, and emotionally as difficult as Alzheimer's, it makes you stronger for the rest of your life. And I think Elissa, I think she has the right temperament for it.
She hasn't always talked a lot about her mom, just brief mentions to me. Not everyone realizes she's working with that in her life and that she misses her mom.
This is a courageous woman that is coming out and telling her story, and we all know that those stories are not always easy to tell.
For me, I think this has been wonderful to watch her brighten up and become so excited about this cause.
She's one of our soul sisters for this event, who's trying to raise even more money so that we can provide more services to people throughout the Delaware Valley. That act of compassion deserves the support of her friends, her family, and people who just know of her through business as well.
And there's not too many diseases or conditions out there that are more challenging than Alzheimer's.
Elissa saw that for the first time, and she is joined by her wonderful family. Some surprise guests flew in, including her dad, Marty, and her sister, Carrie, from Georgia. Elissa has become a very special friend to the chapter and to me. She's everyone's sunshine. I honestly can't say I have ever seen her when she isn't smiling. But along with her bright, loving, happy, and positive outlook comes a very intelligent, successful, and together woman who knows a lot about business and the fashion industry, as well as about people. She's internationally recognized as well. She actually turned down a trip by the Swedish consulate to speak there this past week about business. And I know you'll be rescheduling that, but she actually is going to be speaking in Italy as well in June. So we're very fortunate to have her here with us and involved. Not only is Elissa a businesswoman, leader, and now a mentor, coach, and teacher, as you could see in the video. What she's done to launch the businesses and the fashion incubator is absolutely remarkable. But what's also important is how she's changing lives. She's become a champion for Alzheimer's in many ways. I don't think I've ever asked her to do anything for us when she said no. Elissa, can you introduce us to more business people who can help our cause? Sure. We want to get more press for the work we do. Can you make some introductions to those folks in that community? Absolutely. Here are their names and numbers. Elissa, we do an event called Reason to Hope, and we need someone to get other people involved in our cause. Would you be a table host? What's the date and time? We need to raise awareness among the Jewish population because we don't feel we're doing enough to help that particular group of people. I'll be there where and when and get other people involved, including my synagogue. And I know this is just the beginning because she's told me that she wants to get more involved. Elissa, you are a leader, entrepreneur, mother, sister, friend, and now an Alzheimer's advocate and ambassador for life. We're so pleased to honor you today. And I know that if your mom were able to be here, and instead she's in home in Georgia, she would say how incredibly proud she is of her adventurous Elissa. And thank you for all you've done to move our mission forward. Please come up.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you so much, Nancy. I'm so touched by this recognition, and I'm honored to be here today to share with you my personal story with Alzheimer's and how it's affected my life. My mom, Linda Sherman Bloom, was born in the city of Lynn, Massachusetts in 1943. She was the middle child of 2 siblings and was a social butterfly in high school. She married my wonderful dad, Marty, and they had 3 daughters. My mom had a gift of gab, and she used her talent working her entire career as a proud employee of the phone company, first in customer service and then in management for first New England Telephone, then NYNEX, and then AT&T. At the age of 53, she received early retirement and enjoyed her time traveling around the world with my dad, visiting her grandchildren and daughters in Atlanta, visiting me in New York City, and socializing with friends. My mom had presence. If she were here right now, she would be lighting up the room with her magnetic personality. She was fun, dynamic, and silly. She had a love for fashion and was a consummate shopper. When I lived in LA, right after college, she became my personal shopper, mailing me boxes of European fashions from Filene's Basement in Boston. Does anyone know Filene's Basement, the original? When I launched my accessories company in 2002, she became my assistant and helped me out at trade shows and also came with me on 9 trips to Asia, meeting with my manufacturers and factories. She was so proud and used to brag to everyone that she designed the designer. That was her favorite line. She was my confidant and my biggest supporter. My mom and I always had a special relationship, and I shared many funny, crazy adventures with her. My mom would later compare them to Carol Burnett skits when retelling the stories. On our first trip to Hong Kong, there was a pool at our hotel, and neither one of us brought bathing suits. We both went out, and we bought the cheapest T-shirts and shorts we could find, and we went and had a fun time in the pool. When I was emailing the pictures to my sisters and dad, my mom said, "Tell them we had a wet T-shirt contest." It was me who first noticed the signs of Alzheimer's. When traveling to Asia on business, I noticed on our last couple trips that something was not right with her. Mom was repeatedly asking the same questions. Some of her hygiene habits were off. She was constantly losing items, only to later find them in some crazy spot where she had hidden them herself. When I told my sisters about these odd behaviors, they didn't believe it could add up to something so serious. My mom was in her early 60s, and it just did not seem possible. Unfortunately, it was years later that the signs became all too obvious to the family. She went from being sharp and always on top of her game to forgetting names, birthdays, and her train of thought. 2010 was a momentous year of immense joy and pain. I gave birth to my son Avi in April, and when my mom could not remember if it was a boy or a girl or what his name was, I knew her daily senior moments were much more serious than we wanted to realize. 5 months later, in September, my dad brought her to a neurologist, and she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. My family was relieved to finally have a diagnosis. Mom was just 67. My mom's neurologist told my dad that her world needed to shrink. My parents sold their house in Boston and moved full-time to their condo in Atlanta. 18 months later, they moved to an independent living facility. And 2 years ago, this Mother's Day, my mom was moved to a nursing home where she currently resides. My family and I are thankful that she is safe and in good care. Mom turned 75 last month. Her life was cut too short, and I have missed not having her by my side the past 8 years. She was always taking pictures, and I realized since her diagnosis, there are no joyful memories and no photos with her. I miss her loud, commanding voice, her laughter, her strong Boston accent, her love of shopping and Boston sports teams, especially the Red Sox and Patriots. Sorry, Philly. I'm still a Boston fan in heart. Sorry. She had a playful spirit and an open heart and a love for children. Whenever she came into contact with children, her eyes would light up, and she would relate to them on their level because she was so tender, sensitive, and childlike herself. Her life mission was to be a bubby. As she lost her mother while pregnant with my older sister, I am thankful her wish was fulfilled in being in that role for my 4 nieces and for a short time with Avi. I think of what if she was diagnosed earlier? Would it have made a difference? I share my story with you today as I am passionate and committed to early detection, as so many times family members go undiagnosed for years like my mom. Research has shown that most people have been living with the disease for 3 to 5 years before they even get a diagnosis. All money raised on my CrowdRise page will go towards early detection in honor of my mom. I am so thankful to have in attendance my dad and sister Carrie from Atlanta, my son Avi, my aunt Irma, my cousin Ronnie, and as Nancy mentioned, my surprise visit of my cousins I didn't know who were coming from Boston, Margot and Cindy, my Beth Am family, my Women Entrepreneurship Day friends and committee members that are here, our Philadelphia Fashion Incubator designers, and so many friends and colleagues who are here today to support the great work that the Alzheimer's Association of the Delaware Valley is doing in the region. So I encourage you, in honor of my mom and almost the 300,000 people with Alzheimer's disease in the region, to raise your paddle and support our mission. I think that would... Anyways, after that. I want to say, actually before I end, I want to just mention about this amazing jacket I'm wearing. This is Anina King, who you'll be seeing on the runway from Granate Pret. I don't know if anyone saw my back. She's incredible. She has beautiful artisanal collection of women's wear, and I highly recommend her beautiful clothes and accessories. Thank you so much, Nancy, Chris, Cheryl, and Wendy, for this wonderful honor. And to Rachel and Jen, the co-chairs of the Wine, Women, and Shoes Committee, and for all the committee's hard work in making this afternoon so special. And I hope you all enjoy the fashion show.
It wouldn't be appropriate when you're honoring someone to not give them something to honor them, right? So I wanted to bring her up here for that. When we were trying to think of something special for you, it was not going to be easy what we could come up with that would really have meaning. And so we were talking about it among the committee members, and fortunately, Megan Lofgren, who's here today and on our committee, Megan is a nurse practitioner. There she is, raising her hand. And she was speaking with a person with dementia one day about her art. And she had not been painting due to shoulder pain, not enough room to work. She really offered many reasons why she wasn't painting anymore. And so these are Megan's words. I asked if she would like to paint a piece for Wine, Women, and Shoes, our Alzheimer's Association fundraiser. She said, I feel so bad for those people, but of course I will. While she lacks the insight to recognize her own cognitive deficits, she possessed all the goodwill to help others. Even a person afflicted with dementia can recognize that we need to use our compassion, our time, and talents to fight Alzheimer's disease. May this serve as a reminder that while the painting, I asked Ginny what she was feeling, may this serve as a reminder that while the memories may fade, the soul and spirit will live on. When I picked up the painting, I asked Ginny what she was feeling or thinking when she painted those beautiful purple flowers. And she responded, I painted it out of sheer joy. And so out of sheer joy, we present this to you. I don't want to be in it. That's okay. I'm fine. In addition, there were many, many special people that could not be here today. So we have a memory jar with all special things about Elissa in it for her to read in her spare time. For you.